Hey there, everyone, and welcome to the truly first episode of the OathCast. I, of course, am your host, as always, Oath Alliance. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about something that's been going on over the internet for the last few days. It is known as hashtag Gamergate. If you go on Twitter and look it up, you can see what it is. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of specifics about how it started. If you want to find that out, I actually have linked a link to the Internet Aristocrat down below. He's doing a good job explaining, sort of in a giant summation, what's been going on with the entire Gamergate thing. He is a bit snarky, but that's okay. He's a lot of fun to listen to. Now, in this entire thing, a few different people have become rather big on the internet for it, including Internet Aristocrat, Gaming Anarchist, and Mundane Matt have all been big players in this through YouTube because Gamergate mainly revolves around the fact that there seems to be some corruption in gaming journalism. In fact, even though quite a few gaming journalist sites have ignored it and have actually denied allegations against them, we've seen from the what is it, Breitbart. Don't know the guy name. Milo. And he has a really interesting last name. Let me take a look here very quickly. Anyways, but so what's been going on? Milo Yiannopoulos, something like that. Anyways, he broke a lot of different things on there, including a giant list of all of these journalists who've been working together. Some have actually said we don't want to be a part of this whole collusion thing, but others have gone ahead and just said, hey, you know what? This entire Gamergate and everything involving it, screw these people. We don't want to talk about it. Anyways, so there's been a lot of mistrust going on over the internet, and rightly so. I mean, honestly, I think the journalists do carry some blame because they let things get a little too far out of hand. They have not practiced good ethics when it comes down to gaming journalism like we expect from people. I mean, if Fox News or MSNBC or CNN or any of those guys acted with this sort of ethics, having relationships, gaining lots of stuff from certain people who are supporting financially people in the game dev industry, or for more political, the political industry, like providing their livelihood, we would all have some pretty big issues on all sides of the matter. And things like that have been going on and have actually been shown to go ahead and to actually be going on. And in all of this, people have gotten mad, and we deserve to be angry. Everyone deserves their own opinion, and if you want to be angry about this, go ahead, and rightly so. It's righteous anger, is what I'd call it, because you've been played, you've been hoodwinked, in a relatively good way of saying that, and by some of these people. The escapists came out and said, yeah, we have screwed up, and we're going to rectify that. We've updated our different ethics. We've now posted them. You can read them and know what we know. And as a person, as a gamer, and someone who reads journalism, I would like to see that. I'd like to see all of these journalists, follow ethics, like ethically practice their trade. I don't care if they're, bloggers or freelancers or actual quote unquote professional journalists. I don't really care. I don't care what you call them. But if they're going to, actually be taking on a mantle of authority in the way of saying, hey, you should listen to me because I'm a games journalist and I work for this established site, then you actually have to protect that credibility because let's face it, sites with places or news sites without credibility become tabloids. And tabloids you see in supermarkets at the checkout counter, and you never buy them. I'm actually surprised that some tabloids still get bought because of how stupid they are. But, all of this is going on, and we've sort of hit a interesting place now. We've hit a place where we've gotten so big, and we're doing a lot. But the question that's coming up now that has actually been put forward by Mundane Matt is, what do we do now? We've gotten really big, but where are we going? And I think that's a worthy question to ask, because if a movement doesn't know where it's going, any movement, if we're just randomly going around and attacking people, then we'll never get anywhere. Because once you destroy everything, you've got to find, how are you going to rebuild after you've won the war? If you bomb all the buildings, kill every opponent, then what? Now you've got a bunch of dead bodies, you've got a bunch of destroyed buildings. How are you going to rebuild after this civil war that's pretty much going on? It's a war between some unethical journalists and gamers in general, and it's become this sort of giant internet phenomenon. Anyways, so what are we going to do about it? Mundane Matt came out and said, we need to get a direction. We need to make a council or something. We need to get political in the form of we need to actually unite and create some sort of system that allows us to work together. Which I say, that's a great idea, and I would love to see how people want to put it into practice. I will not, however, be attempting to find a place of power within that. I think it's a worthy goal to try to find, get everyone to unite under a single banner and sing the same tune, because otherwise we're just, looking slightly like blathering idiots half the time, and no one will take us seriously because, let's face it, we're fighting an enemy that's in lockstep with each other. I'd like to think of this as sort of the Revolutionary War. You've got the establishment, the Britons, the Redcoats, and their hired dogs, the Prussians, fighting against us, the lowly patriot gamers, attempting to defend our right to game and our right actually for ethical journalism. So we need to work together, without some sort of, system, we're probably going to fall apart. But one of the things that people have brought up, I was actually watching his video, I went down to the comments, and people were saying, well, we got where we are now because we attacked all of these unethical journalists, and we need to keep that up. And I would honestly say, don't give up, going after the people who lie. But I think we need to remember the people who haven't been lying in all of this. I've discovered a few sites that have been that I haven't actually ever paid much attention to. One of them being Niche Gamer. And I didn't even know these sites existed. But they do. And I didn't know that there's people who, were trying to be about as objective as possible and also do real investigative journalism. But they do. And I think we need to reward that, because in the end, at the very end of the day, no matter what, all of these unethical practitioners and their companies and everything, at the very end of the day, all of them are in it for what? Money. They want to earn a living just like anyone else. And let's face it, they might not be earning it in the most honest way, but they are earning money. So if we show them that we reward people who actually, who follow what we want, in the form of, if we show them that we reward people who are ethical and honest and actually truthful with writing about things and objective too, and if they've got connection,
it's time for more epic 48-hour adventures. And with 48 hours of odor protection, we're ready for anything. I'm using Ooh La La Lavender. Good choice.
Hey guys, I've been
oh, that's good.
a friend with or something like that. So we can take everything they say with a grain
cheers to another great adventure. For a whole new season of epic adventures, go to youtube.com/secret.
That's the way to make money, because at the end of the day, they're in it to make money. So if we actually reward honest journalism, then they're going to try and follow that example. And even if we don't get them to follow the example, we can reward those people who do, because they're working hard to try and be honest and everything, and they're not sensationalize everything so people click on it a dozen times and share it to all their friends. Oh my goodness, those gamers, they're so misogynistic, woman haters, and spreading all over the news. Share, Facebook like. These people aren't doing that. And they're hindered because they're actually doing what's right. They're being honest and objective and things like that. So maybe if we help them, we can make them a stronger force and get their name out there and help them and reward them for what they're doing. And I think we shouldn't stop with actually, saying, hey guys, stop your unethical practices, and calling their CEOs and their editors-in-chief and all of those people and saying, hey guys, stop the unethical practices, fix your stuff. We found you to be shams, fix your stuff. And whatever that form comes in, that's up to every person. Some people will be like, well, you gotta fire everyone. Some people will say you just gotta, practice good ethics. That's not up for me to decide, and I really don't care, because honestly, in the end, I just want the problem fixed. And as long as they fix the problem, I'm fine with that. Maybe they need to fire some people, maybe they don't. It's not up to me. You can have your own opinion on it. And also, we need people like Internet Aristocrat to go ahead and spearhead looking into things. We need people who do investigative journalists and assist with other people doing investigative journalism into this entire thing, because that helps us find out who are the people that we actually need to be, figuring out to stay away from. Who are the people who are our opponents in this. And in the realm of Mundane Matt, his opinion and his thought, he's really pushing for a look as to what positive can we do in Gamergate, because Internet Aristocrat and the investigative journalists and all of them, if they're all finding ways to destroy our opponents, then why don't Mundane Matt, keep on just saying Matt, he's trying to go ahead and figure out how we can arm ourselves with knowledge, how we can better coordinate. And this is important, because if you don't have a good amount of working structure, then all the information that people, the investigative journalists, all the things they pull up will go to no use, because they'll spend hours and hours working on things. A bunch of people will listen to it. 5 or 6 people will get on Twitter and tweet about it, and 3 or 4 people will YouTube about it also, and that's it. End of story. Everyone else will miss it, ignore it, something else. And we need to use all of our tools effectively if we actually want to make a big difference, because it has become a war. It's become a war, and we need to fight it like a war. And when fighting a war, if you're not putting intelligence to good use, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, you're an idiot. If you know for a fact that you can do something to somehow curb an attack or something like that, or to find ways to push the enemy, to get the enemy taken down, no matter what form it is, whether it's uniting a bunch of countries together, arming other countries to help you, and gaining multiple alliances to fight them, or if it's just, finding weak points within them and taking shots at it, we need to use our intelligence effectively. Otherwise, we're just like the British before World War II, when they had a sniper, an Englishman, who could have sniped Hitler before the war even started. And they said, well, it wouldn't be playing cricket. We could have saved millions of lives. Well, the British at least could have at that time. Could have saved millions of lives. They had the intelligence. They had the knowledge. Germany was moving somewhere really bad, and they didn't do it. And we need to use our intelligence very well. So I think that that Mundane Matt, I'll link his video below, had some good words on how we need to see about structuring. And I think Internet Aristocrat has good continued push for investigative journalism to this matter. And I think both are important. And I think honestly that if we don't have both, we're going to collapse as a group. The entirety of gamers will fall to this attack on the very core of who we are, which we are gamers. We're not male, female, gay, lesbian, straight, transgendered, or whatever. We're not black, we're not white, we're not Asian, we're not Mexican, we're not Republican or Democrat or independent, we're not liberal, conservative, or in between. We're none of those. We're gamers. And just because we disagree doesn't mean we can't work together, especially when someone is attacking the form of media that we use to not only engage, express, and understand things around us, but also just for fun. So I'm advocating for not for an all-out assault on people, and I'm also not advocating for laying down our weapons. I'm advocating for a two-pronged approach, an approach that gives us intelligence and ammunition, and which pushes to undermine the enemy by informing people of what we seek and why we're doing this, and also the unethical things that are going on, and also a group that figures out how to use that intelligence efficiently and to not only get it out to people, but also help people figure out how we can do the most damage to the unethical practices or the practitioners of these unethical things. Anyways, that's really all I have to say for now on Gamergate. I, of course, am Oath Alliance. Feel free to subscribe, to like this video, even if you don't like me or what I have to say. Should have said rate. To rate this video, even if you don't like me or what I have to say. Favorite it if you really enjoy it. And as always, stay strong and game on. You all have a great day.